Whispers in the silence. David had always been a night owl. The days were too loud, too chaotic for his taste. But the nights were calm, quiet, and his time to unwind. For the last few months, he had developed a ritual, a dark room, his headphones on, and hours of satisfying videos. He loved the smooth sounds of slime squishing, the perfectly synced tapping of fingernails on glass, and the rhythmic crunch of kinetic sand being sliced. The precision, the predictability, it was almost hypnotic. It started innocently enough. He'd finish his work around midnight, open his laptop, and dive into a playlist of satisfying ASMR videos. The whispering voices, the delicate scraping, the soft crackles, it felt like a massage for his brain. But, like any habit, it grew. One video turned into two turned into 5. Soon, it wasn't just background noise, it was all he could think about. The hours of night seemed to stretch on, and David found himself sinking deeper into his obsession. One evening, David stumbled across a channel he hadn't seen before. Whispers of the Still Night, the title read. The thumbnail showed a hand slowly brushing over a smooth, dark surface, simple, elegant, satisfying. It had very few views, which intrigued him. Click. The video began like any other. A gentle, soft-spoken voice whispered, "Welcome to the quiet." The hand appeared again, brushing over what seemed to be polished stone. The scrape of skin against the cool surface was smooth, like a gentle sigh. David felt his eyes grow heavy as he watched, hypnotized by the simplicity. But after a few minutes, something felt off. The hand seemed to pause for just a fraction too long. And then there was a sound, a faint, almost imperceptible echo in the background. At first, David thought it was just interference, maybe a microphone picking up ambient noise. But as the video continued, the sound became clearer, a soft, rhythmic tapping. It didn't match the hand's movements, nor did it seem to come from the surface. It was something else, something deeper. His curiosity piqued, David rewound the video. He watched again, listening closely. There it was, the tapping, growing louder as the hand moved more slowly over the stone. Was it breathing? No, impossible. David brushed it off as a trick of the mind, a result of too many late nights, but the tapping stuck with him. It was unlike anything he'd heard in satisfying videos before. That's what drew him back to the channel the next night. He clicked on another video. This time, it featured the same hand slowly folding a piece of velvet cloth. The whispers returned, faint and soothing, "Relax, let the silence take you." David closed his eyes, letting the soft rustle of the fabric wrap around his senses. But then, that tapping again. This time, closer, more distinct. He opened his eyes. The hand on the screen had stopped moving, the cloth held loosely between its fingers. David leaned in, squinting. Was it trembling? The tapping grew louder, more insistent. And then, just for a split second, the frame seemed to jump, like a glitch in the video. The hand twitched, the whispers faltered, and the screen darkened slightly. David paused the video and stared at the screen, feeling a chill crawl up his spine. Something was wrong. He rewound again, but this time, the glitch was gone. The tapping was still there, though, louder than before. Over the next week, David became consumed by whispers of the still night. The videos grew stranger, each one more unsettling than the last. There was always the same hand, always the same soft whisper, but the background noises, the tapping, the faint scratching, the breathing, became more pronounced. It was like the quiet, calming ambience was trying to mask something darker lurking just out of sight. One night, David clicked on the latest upload. It was titled "The Last Whisper." A sense of unease washed over him as the video began. The hand appeared again, but this time, it moved slower than ever, brushing over a surface that looked like old, weathered wood. The familiar whispering voice echoed, "You've come so far, so close, to the truth." The hand paused, hovering over the wood, fingers trembling. David felt his heart quicken. The tapping returned, louder, closer, like it was right next to him. He yanked off his headphones, half expecting to hear the sound in his own room, but the silence in his apartment was deafening. With a shaky hand, he put his headphones back on. The whispering had stopped. The hand on the screen was completely still. David leaned in, his breath catching in his throat. And then, the hand twitched violently, the fingers bending at unnatural angles. The screen flickered, and for a split second, something else flashed across the screen, a face, pale and contorted, eyes wide with terror. The hand was no longer caressing the wood, it was gripping it, nails digging into the surface. The tapping was deafening now, accompanied by a low, guttural moan. David slammed his laptop shut, heart pounding. He sat in silence, his mind racing. What had he just seen? Was it part of the video? Was it a trick, some kind of elaborate horror setup? But it hadn't felt like fiction. It felt real. Unable to shake the feeling of dread, he opened his laptop again, intending to delete the channel from his history, to forget the whole thing. But when he tried to search for Whispers of the Still Night, it was gone. The channel didn't exist. The videos didn't exist. His browser history was wiped clean of any trace of it. David's skin prickled. He could still hear the tapping in his mind, echoing over and over. That night, he didn't sleep. But the next day, the obsession returned. Despite the fear gnawing at him, David couldn't help himself. He searched for similar videos, hoping to find answers. That's when he stumbled upon a forum, a small, hidden corner of the internet where others had experienced the same thing. They spoke of the tapping, the whispering, the face. They called it the final whisper, and those who heard it were never the same. One user's comment stood out to David. It started as satisfying, but now it's in my dreams. I can't stop hearing it. It's getting closer. David's heart sank. He glanced at the corner of his room, where his laptop sat, the screen dark but inviting. The tapping was faint now, almost comforting in its regularity. Just as he was about to shut it all out, a notification popped up on his phone. New upload from Whispers of the Still Night. For you.